can't change it. I'm fat.
I'm recording now. So.
Okay.
I just
Used to focus only on hurts. I had many gifts, but I was my own curse. But hold up, wait a minute, stop that. I need to focus on now, not that.
Get your mind right and your money tight. Lately, I ain't.
What's going on, people? This is Influence, and we are here. What We Thinking Podcast. I think that's going to be the name. I'm not sure. I got my good brother to the right of me, Bryson.
Hello. Hello. What's up?
What's going on?
What's up?
So
Happy to be here.
I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely. I know we talked about this for a long, long time. I'm glad we could make it happen now. So for the first episode, this is an inaugural episode. I wanted to talk about how we met, our connection, and also, you know, some of the music stuff that we've been through and into. This isn't going to be a music podcast, so to speak, but a lot of topics probably are going to be music because it's one of the things we're interested in. So, I told you just a little while ago, I don't remember. I don't know if it was at KFC.
Yeah.
Was
KFC,
that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It was at KFC. We both worked there.
Yeah.
I was in high school. You was out of high school, right?
Yeah.
You was in between.
I think I was just graduating.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I worked there like my senior year, right before graduation. So, yeah, I think that's. I wasn't sure though. Like I wasn't sure, but I know. Did you used to rap in the back?
I don't know.
I don't remember how I found out that you rapped. I don't know if it was through your cousin. I did find out you rapped later on because that's when I was roommates with your cousin.
Yeah, but before we get to that, we got to get back. You forgetting, man.
I'm forgetting.
We had a connection at KFC. We sat in the parking lot, but I used to remember, I used to work there, and I used to see you sitting by yourself out there eating on your lunch break.
Yeah.
And like
I was always a loner. I was always a loner.
Yeah, and we ain't really know each other then. But then at some point, I forget how, I remember us being in the parking lot and we was talking about Tupac.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
And I remember that moment. And then...
See, it's crazy my memory might be just going. I don't know. I'm getting older, but it's crazy what people remember and what you don't remember and vice versa. Because I don't remember that conversation, but I'm sure. But I do remember us having conversations all the time, probably after that. But that tracks because Tupac is one of my favorite rappers ever. So, and at that time, I was heavy in the Pac. So I'm sure, you know, I probably spoke about him often.
Yeah, I remember us sitting out there for a while, just talking, and then we probably just talked about. We just had a mutual connection over hip hop, like, and yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
it felt good, you know.
That's what's up. But I definitely, I know some of our latter conversations, like we're always talking. It's one of the reasons we wanted to start this podcast. But then I remember, you know, I graduated and I went to college and I was roommates with your cousin then as well, and I remember just thinking about, because I got on stage and did a poem. So that was my first foray into performing, and I liked it a lot. I was nervous as hell, but I liked it. And that's when that night, I remember I was like, I'm starting Inflewential Records. And I just remember, I think it was...
You had the name already.
Yeah, because I already like went by Influence somewhat, because I was using that name already.
You came up with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I came up with it because dude at school was like, "You're sick," and I was like, "Yeah." And then I was thinking like flu, and I was like, I don't know about that. Then I just started thinking it was like Influence is the long version, and everybody, I knew it was a common word, kind of like common. Like how that's why I changed the spelling. I mean, I know he was. I think they made him change his name from Common Sense to Common because of it being just a normal thing, like common sense being a normal phrase. But I was kind of thinking along the lines of that, and I changed it with the EW instead of a U, and that's how I came up with that. And then I was by myself trying to start the label, so I just was like, Inflewential Records, since I'm trying to start it. Like I didn't even think about, now looking back, I'm like, damn, that was narcissistic as hell. Like to have everything named that. But at the time,
what's a dope name though?
I thought it was, and it was just something, like I said, it was by myself, so I couldn't think of any other name. I was just like, Inflewential Records.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Sure can.
I just want to understand this and put it together. He said, you sick. You was thinking flu. I'm thinking like, the flu.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Then you said influence. But
the flu was FLEW, INFLEW. So,
right, but flu is the sickness,
yeah,
right?
Flu is the sickness.
And you said influence. But to me, when I think of influence, I mean, you influence somebody.
Yeah, and that's where I came up with it.
Okay.
Because it still had the flu in it. Okay. But it was in later on. What's funny is people started calling me Flu for short. Like, people we started messing with doing the music and started making music together with other people. Like people always called me Flu because influence was so long. Yeah, I guess, people always shorten names. So it was just a natural progression. People just started calling me Flu, and I'm like, oh, that's wild. But even online, like I had the same name online on PlayStation. So even online, like when I played online games, people would call me Flu instead of Influence because it was so long. Like we was playing the SOCOM 2. Shout out to people on SOCOM 2. It was just hard to call out. Like Influence is a person over. They just be like Flu is a person over it. It's just flow better.
Yeah.
So,
Flu.
Yeah. Like,
get him, Flu.
Yeah. Like basically. When I played online, so everybody shortened it, the Flu, which was cool because I didn't intend that, but that's where it came from.
That's what's up.
That was kind of dope.
Full circle.
Yeah, full circle, little moment. But then I remember, like I said, I told your cousin, and he's like, whatever, I'm down, whatever you want to do. So I was like, all right, we gonna start rapping, and then it was the long journey. Y'all used to make tapes. Talk about that because y'all used to make tapes just like regular. I don't even know if you had a microphone or if you used like the headphones plugged into the mic jack, or I'm not sure. Or maybe you just recorded through the radio. I might have had a microphone. Oh no, I don't remember. I remember you had one of them little tape decks. Yeah, them little memo tape decks. Yeah, back in the day, some people, if you're young, you might not know what that is, but it's like a single tape deck. It's long. It has play, record, pause, all that stuff in the front. And I think you had a microphone hooked up to it. Yeah, I might have had a microphone. And I think that's how you recorded, and you had stuff playing in the background. I think I did have a microphone. And I would push, I would go to, you used to have to go to the store, FYE or whatever they called it, and you get the single, right, with your song on it. Your favorite song on it, and on the other side they got the instrumental. Oh yes. So I used to play the instrumental and put the recorder right up against the stereo, the radio, and get my rap on. Yeah, you was spitting though, and I remember that. Like I remember, like you just recording whole tapes of songs. Yeah, it was. I think I went for my first year of college, and. It was a goal of mine. This summer when I got out of school for the summer, I want to fill up this whole tape with songs, I remember you did, and I just remember getting a dub of it and listening to it. Like it was, like it was somebody's album. I just remember listening. Quality wasn't great just because of what you had to do to record it. But I looked past that and looked at the lyrics and, how you wrote the beat. So I think that's when I heard that stuff, I was like, oh yeah, it's only natural. Like he cool. And I think I don't know if I asked you or was like, you want to be down or whatever. You was just like, whatever. So
yeah, I remember like it was. I think that same summer, or it might have been the next.
I think it might have been the next summer because I think the actual label getting it together was in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
So it was close to me graduating school. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Closer. I think 2001 we started like formulating some stuff. Actually, 2002. I think. Did we release in 2002?
Yeah, finally we just begun. I remember that label.
Yeah, we released that in 2002. Yeah, no, 2001 was when I started like really trying to get it along. And I remember our first recording sessions. We had that little. I think I had a headset mic, and I ripped the mic off the headset and had it on the dresser so it stuck out, so we could stand up and actually like rap. I remember that. Recording a lot of stuff like that until I got a proper microphone. But I do remember us because we did a couple mixtapes.
Yeah.
And they were dope. Like I was listening to one the other day. I got it on in my car, and our quality wasn't great then either. Like it was.
Yeah, but I mean, like at that point, that didn't matter to me. Like I just was amazed at hearing myself. Like Yeah, that didn't really. It was some hot stuff. I mean, you could definitely tell if you listen to the radio and then what,
Yeah, definitely.
But your quality was better than the quality that I had.
Oh yeah. We. I think that's what I was getting at. Like we kind of advanced a little bit more and started recording stuff that was higher quality, but it still wasn't really there. And I just remember like eating business books and everything and books on how to record because that's what it was. It was books. Like it wasn't a lot of YouTube videos teaching you how to do this stuff like now. Like I said,
was YouTube out?
YouTube was not out. No, YouTube came out in 2006, I believe. So yeah, YouTube. What am I talking about? Wasn't no YouTube videos out. There was videos on the internet, but it just wasn't. I don't know. It was Vidmo. No, I don't even know if that was out. It was some sites that had videos, but it wasn't anything where you could go just like YouTube and just learn stuff and learn how to record. So I had to read everything. And I was just saying, like, the setup we got now can do everything we used to do with thousands of equipment, thousands of dollars worth of equipment, I should say, that I still have. And you don't even need that now. So it's crazy to see where it's come. But I just remember researching and figuring out what I needed to buy. I had to decide whether I was going Mac or PC. I went PC just because there was a lot of stuff for it at the time. So I just bought all the equipment and got a proper mic. And then we started recording. Started learning how to make beats.
Yeah.
I remember you was making beats. I made beats. I had what did I have? The MPC. 1000, I think.
Yeah.
The MPC 1000.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened to that. Did I sell that? I might have sold it. But I got the MPC Studio now. But yeah, I just remember us trying to make beats and doing all that. We had this little orange thing. I can't remember what it was. You remember that?
Yeah. Was it like
we made a couple songs from that?
I forget. Like Trans Cam or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
something.
I like that thing.
Yeah, that thing was all right.
Yeah.
It was all right. It was cheap and it made beats. I mean, it wasn't like the MPC. You wasn't hitting like pads, but you had your little, your little drums and stuff. Like we made a few beats from that. We put out Finally We Just Begun. It was kind of a compilation album with all the artists that was on the label. And that was cool. I thought we was going to sell like 1 million albums and we sold like 300. Nah.
We did?
Yeah, it was about that.
Okay,
yeah, it was about in the lifetime of it, but I ordered 1,000. I just remember that. Like it's still... Yeah. It's still a bunch of boxes at my dad's house. Like that's wild. But then I see stories of people doing that, like thinking they're about to sell crazy, and then they order 1,000, and it just don't do what back then. it wasn't as easy. Not saying it's super, well, it is super easy to get out there now. I'm not saying it's easy to make it, but it's easier. And just like it was easier for us to do what we did than people back in the day using reels that had to go to a studio. Mm-hmm. Like we still had a home studio. It just wasn't as easy and simple to record and put on the internet, which now is amazing. Like these kids are just getting famous for nothing, basically. But it's cool because if you're good and you can get yourself out there now, like it's a lot easier than it was back then. Even when we was doing it.
Could you imagine? Man.
Now?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we was doing it like now, we probably would have caked off.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, I think we would have, because now you can put stuff on the internet and on social media and people find it and they'll book you for a show. Like if you got enough following, like you ain't gotta be good. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the other thing. Like we were good too. You know, not to toot my own horn, but we had skills in different areas. So I just can't imagine like now if it was now, like man, be crazy.
Yeah, you can get your stuff heard and out there like it's more convenient, you know.
Yeah, definitely more convenient. But we was doing it, and then you went to school. Mm-hmm. You went to college, and you met some people at college. You was doing your thing there.
Yeah. The illest spitters. And you know, my rap name was Ill at the time.
Yeah.
And I joined them. They at the snack bar where you go get the food outside the snack bar was separate from the cafeteria. So you could go to the snack bar and use you could get your food instead of
Yeah.
And so they had something like, you know, y'all sign up if y'all want to be part of this. And so
that was cool.
I signed up, and that was a lot of fun. Like I think 2 like compilations came out of that.
Yeah.
2 releases, and then I met Teich. He was a part of that.
Yeah, Teich was dope. And he was classically trained pianist, right? Yeah. He was dope because you could tell. Mm-hmm. I remember listening to his beats.
Like
it had a lot of piano in it. Yeah, and you could tell he could play.
He told me that he would be in like piano class, right? And he'll be, he would be doing a recital, and he'll mess up, right? He wouldn't be doing it right, but he was so good that nobody but the teacher knew that he didn't do it right.
Yeah, that's wild.
Because he would cover it up and like
he was nice with it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we and me and him after the like first.
I talked to him not too long ago.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
How's
on
he
Facebook.
Doing?
I think he's all right. I think he was going through some stuff, but I sent him a message, and because I saw him pop up and sent me a message back. It was, I say not too long ago. It was probably maybe like 6-7 months ago. I don't know, but yeah, he seemed. I think he's back in Japan. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was one of the coolest things about. For me, like going to college, I met people from all over the world. Like,
yeah. I met people from Newark. See, I went to a local Jersey college. So shout out to Stockton University now. And there was a lot of people from up north there, like a lot of in-state people because it's a smaller school. So I met a lot of people from Newark. That was basically it. Like it was actually our roommate one year was like from Iowa or somewhere, because I remember he said he never talked to a black person, and I just thought that was funny.
Oh wow!
But he was cool. He was rooming with 3 black people, so I mean, he was either cool or he covered it up well. But he was fine. He was cool. Rich, I think his name. Shout out to Rich. Shout out to Rich opening the window every night. That was the only thing I ain't like. He was in my room, so he always was hot. I'm like, it's 0 degrees, man. You can't be opening the window, like it's cold. So, but yeah, he was cool. Rich was cool. What happened after that?
Yeah, I ain't like having no college roommates.
Yeah. It was all right because the other 3 people I knew from Bristol. So,
right,
like they were cool. Okay. Besides fighting with each other, like shout out to them. not naming no names. They know who they are. But yeah, that was a cool time. And then we continued making music. We continued getting better. I don't remember if.
Oh, the Apollo happened too.
Oh yeah. When we had the performance at the Apollo.
Yeah.
Well, y'all did. I went for moral support.
Was you a part of one of ours? Mine?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. I performed with y'all, but it was really you guys showcasing. That was cool. Mm-hmm. That was cool. I thought we was gonna meet Lil Wayne, but that ain't happened.
Yeah, we met his Busy B.
Yeah, Busy B.
We met Busy B.
Yeah. And
we was like crouched down on the ground getting our CDs together, and he came and looked like trying to see what we doing.
Yeah. like what y'all doing? Yeah, he was shook a little bit for a second. He like, what y'all gathering up over here? Yeah. But that was dope. I mean, we had a van, we rolled out. Like that was kind of like we was on tour.
Yeah.
Went out there, drove to New York. Performed.
And y'all went out to Ohio too, right?
Ohio. Yeah. We had a performance. Shout out to Sin in Ohio, Sincere. She booked us, and I remember it was cool. At the time, I was kind of upset because it took so long. Like she booked us as like a headline, and it was a lot of performers. There's just the grind that you go through when you trying to come up, and I just remember that night was long because we didn't start performing until like 2 a.m, I think. Mm-hmm. And it started like 9. Mm-hmm. So like I just remember cuz getting upset. Because it was taking so long, but we tore it down though once it started. Mm-hmm. and that was cool. Sincere always looked out. She was like a promoter. Local talent. I think she got a couple people to blow too from Ohio, which was dope.
Yeah, we had some good shows.
Yeah, we had that show at the Marino Center. That was dope. Yeah, because it was basically us and a couple other people, other acts. Mm-hmm. Pete, shout out to Pete. He was he actually put the show on and asked us to be a part of it. But yeah, I remember we practiced. We had our stuff tight. Mm-hmm. By the time the show was, like, we had our little rehearsals. That was dope. Like, that's when I kind of was like, yo, this could work, because we were keeping it tight. Like we were going about it like it was a real business, like we should have been. So I was excited for that. I was glad for that. That was fun. It's good experience. All these experiences were dope. Like, looking back, like even though we ain't make it where we wanted to go with the music, but I still look at it as a success, because I mean, we still getting $10 checks every now and then. I owe you like $5. So like we still get $10 checks every now and then from streaming. Streaming is crap, so you ain't getting paid nothing. But it's cool to still, like, when I get those emails, I'm like, yo, this is dope. Like, even though it's $10, like, but it's stuff that we made from scratch, music that we made from scratch that people are actually listening to every month. I know we did a couple more mixtapes. I think
we did that. Yeah, the 2006 one. I think, was it 2006?
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah,
and then
the years are a blur to me. Like, I think you remember more than I do. And it's not a blur because doing anything like any. This is a blur because I'm getting older. Like, it runs together now.
Just the recording process. Just that felt so good to me. Just being in the basement.
Yeah,
that's
basement.
what it was called.
Oh man, Basement Studios.
Yeah, it just we made some classic stuff. Man.
Yeah, definitely.
We ought to play some stuff sometimes. Like, what was that one? Man Up.
Yeah,
where you made the beat.
Yeah,
and then cuz wanted me. He came up with a scenario and he wanted me to write it. He wanted me. I'm like, yo, influence. Ben has this experience. Other cuz has this experience. Like, but he like, nah, I want you to do it. Like saying like, I don't know how much you want me to say, but
nah, you can. Like, I mean, you can let it go mostly. Okay, if it's something crazy, I cut it out.
So these other two guys on the label have experience in the street like that. They have certain experiences, so maybe you should like get them. Like, nah, I want you to do it. So I did it, like from my perspective.
Yeah, nah, that was dope. That is a dope song.
Yeah, that shit hit hard. That like a lot because of the beat.
Yeah,
like when they come on, it's knocking.
Yeah,
and so that fueled me. And like, yo,
man, yeah, and you know what? I forgot about that stuff. Like some of it, when you say it, I don't forget. You know what I mean? I remember it. It comes to my brain just like it was yesterday. But like, it's so you have so many experiences in life that when you forget a lot of stuff, you know, that you done or did and went through, and it almost feels like a different life. You know what I mean? Like as you get older. And I just remember that.
Yeah, man. Like that was like a way of life for me, like coming up with stuff. And like how I used to do at a certain point was I had the beat on and I come up with it and I run it over and over again.
Yeah, you wasn't write nothing. And that's like, even before like hearing that Jay-Z ain't write nothing, Biggie ain't write nothing, like you ain't write nothing. Like I always thought that was crazy to me. And I understand what it means. Like you come up, you formulate it in your brain. It's not like you going in there freestyling. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't understand that. Like people that's not in the culture, they don't understand when people say they don't write. Like they're not some of the newer rappers I think do freestyle and just say whatever is on their head. But a lyrical person, they're coming up with it before they go in there. But it's just that they're not writing anything down, and that's still crazy to me.
I think you lock it in. It's in that short-term memory. So I would have to put it down before
you forgot.
Yeah, before like taking a break from it, because then it'd be like, what did I say? It'd be like, how did it go? How did I say it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I understand because I go through stuff like that. I do that now because I come up with different stuff, different songs, but I've always been a writer. So if I'm not someone, and I understand why, like when Jay-Z said it was the necessity for him, because it's kind of like that for me now. Like he said he was away from home, he was hustling, doing whatever, so he had to remember it. I understand that now because I'm working, I'm doing whatever, and stuff will come to me, and if I don't say it over and over, I just forget about it by the end of the day. So it's like whatever, if I don't write it down or say it over and over, I just forget about it. So that's a skill.
Yeah,
like that's a
skill.
You
don't want to lose some like hot stuff like you thought about. Like that's why I think I used to have, or even on my phone, like now I do it, but I don't keep stuff nowadays. And I hardly like. It's been a while since I've thought of anything or been inspired.
Yeah,
but like
me too.
What I used to like just record it on my phone so I remember how it go.
I've been working on a song for like 2 years. And I think a part of it is because I'm talking about my mom in the song somewhat. So I think that is some of the hesitation that makes me, because it's hard to go back there. But I started working on it after my mom passed away. So I want my son to sing on it. I think I sent it to you because I wanted you to write the hook.
Yeah,
you did. Yeah. I just never recorded any, and I haven't wrote a second verse.
Okay.
Like I'm not even really done the first verse. So I mean that's in the works. I'm still going to record that song, and then I was thinking like I want to put an original beat to it, but that beat, Pound Cake beat, just fits so well because that's what I wrote it to. And that's another thing, like hearing it at work, just hearing somebody had it in the YouTube video, and I was like, I just came up with like the first 6 bars just out of going through stuff. And then I had to think about the bars. Like it's harder now to write. I ain't even gonna lie. Like I can understand why people get older and stop rapping. Or I can appreciate somebody being older and still killing it like Nas. Like being 50 and still running albums back to back to back like that. Like that's insane to me. But yeah, I mean, I guess some people are just naturally inspired all the time. I think that's what it comes down to a lot.
Yeah, like I used to be like, I used to feel it, but nothing has. It's been a long time, the longest it's ever been.
Yeah. So I think I said that the other day. Like this, the longest I went without recording anything, like in my life. Like it's weird. Like even when I was younger, without writing anything, because I wrote poetry when I was young, like 12 to 14. I wrote poetry, 15 maybe, and then I kind of stopped, and then I started writing more again in high school, and that's kind of what inspired me to go on stage at college because they had the poetry night, and I remember reciting a poem about Cool V, who got murdered at the time, in Bridgeton. So, like that just inspired me. The whole scenario inspired me. Like, and that's what made me start Inflewential Records. But yeah, it's been a long time because I put out that solo album. Then we did some more. We did a mixtape after that, right? Oh
yeah,
Reality Music 2.
Yeah,
we did 1 and 2. Reality Music 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Reality Music 1, I think, came out before my album, didn't it? Or it came out after?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Shoot.
It's crazy.
What was on that?
Well, Reality, the first one?
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay.
We can listen to it later.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't remember either. I don't know if that came out after my solo, but Reality, I still listen to Reality Music too. I like the album. I think there's just a lot of stuff on there. And
bumping that whip, bumping that whip.
Yeah, that's you know, and this is the guy that I have to thank. If you on my YouTube channel, that's his song at the end, the outro.
Which one is it? It Ain't Gonna Stop?
No, I hear it every day and I can't remember it. That's wild. Yeah, so you know, Life Ain't Over at the end of all my YouTube videos, that's him right there. So yeah, that was like I said, I just listened to that. That's crazy.
I like how I got off on that. Like I liked it.
Now that whole mixtape was dope.
Yeah, I liked it. And I liked especially that for that song I liked because this is what was in my head. Like singing and all of that, the singing, and it fully expressed it on the song. And it came out sounding, you know,
it was cool.
And I had some bars in there. Like I said, I said, give me that love. Yeah, you know what I need. Wait, hold up. Yeah, that's what I said. Give me that love. Yeah, you know what I need. But like Whitney Houston, it's all inside me, so I know who it is, like a caller ID. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dope. Dope stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
Appreciate it.
After that, then we started dwindling. Like as far as music.
Got the Reality Music too?
Yeah. I think that was the last thing we really did.
You came out. You came out. You had another one.
Oh yeah, I had Influential Monster came out. That was with Monster Music, which was a duo producer team from the Netherlands. I don't know where they went at. I still see them every now and then on social media, but I hooked up with them through New Trees.
Yeah, shout out to New Trees. I was just thinking of them.
Yeah, shout out New Trees. We did stuff with them.
Yeah, and that was.
And now JL was recording all our video. Well, JL and Miz recorded couple of our videos, but JL now he got the cooking stuff going on. I mean the eating stuff, I should say. The restaurant reviews, he hyping it up. JL Jupiter, check him out.
Put me on to
I mean, y'all probably already seen him. But yeah, he doing his thing on YouTube.
What's that place in Cherry Hill?
What place?
The seafood place. He put me on. I saw one of his videos and I went there. Seafood place called start with a B, I think.
I don't even know. I don't eat seafood like that, so
okay.
Yeah, I don't. But I watch some of his videos. I'm allergic to some of that stuff, so you know I eat fish. That's it, really. But yeah, he been doing this thing. He been blowing up the people, like showing love. That's love. And he used to rap.
They was tight. they was tight. Like they was like, wow, look at them, like out of Camden. Look at them, like how they doing it with the videos, like
yeah. And Prime and Miz still doing it. They had a project or Prime, I think. I don't know if he's has a new project out, but or it's coming out. I know him and Miz did something, but yeah, they still doing it. I still taught that.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I still taught a few of them. So yeah, they definitely was on, and they off the strength when we had that show on the Afton shows, when we had that show in Pennsylvania. Where was that at? It was at some bar.
Yeah, it was. I forget the name of that place.
I can't remember the name of that place either.
Yeah, but that was a good.
But
show.
Yeah, that was a good show because they was on that show, and
they were. Oh yeah,
they was on that show. Okay. I think that's when we met them.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if that's when we met them. But they were like, yeah, we from Camden. And no, you know what? I might have met them because one of the group members I went to school with, high school. Mm-hmm. And that's the first person that reached out to me.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Okay, yeah. He was they was all cool.
Yeah, they were all cool. They're all still cool. I mean, you know, everybody goes their separate ways and doing other stuff than music. But yeah, they all could spit and they all had different style. They reminded me of Wu-Tang. Like they had a lot of members and they all could spit and they all had like a different type of style. Mm-hmm. So that's what gravitated me towards them. And like I said, they still doing their thing. They got the YouTube. Check out New Trees. Shout out to them again, because I think after Reality Music 2, we released like kind of lost tapes.
Okay.
Recently. You forgot about that, didn't you? Not too long ago.
No. Yeah,
not too long ago. It wasn't.
Yeah, because I'll be going to your YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't too long ago. Yeah. But that was stuff that we had in the tuck. Yeah. Like it wasn't nothing we recorded new.
Yeah. There's some good stuff on there.
Yeah, I like it.
I played like recently I was playing when I was driving and my ex was on the video call and I was playing. I got my bike fixed and she was cracking.
You know what? And that's funny because it's stuff like that. That's what I always admired about you. Like you would make songs about anything, but they were real songs and people gravitated towards it. Like I just remember putting it online, like I was in like a forum for something. Mm-hmm. And I remember putting stuff online and people saying stuff like about your verses, was like, yo, riding around on my bike, like on Where We At. Mm-hmm. People was talking about your verse, like a lot of people. And they were like, yo, that's real. That's real as hell. Like, that's real.
Yeah.
Like
it was real.
And it was real. Like that's one of the things. And I think that was for all of us though. Like we all was real. Mm-hmm. Like we all talked about everything. You know, we all had different experiences. Like I had some experience in the street. A couple other people had experiences in the street. You know, but that ain't all I talked about. But I did talk about that sometimes. And you know, we all just had different experiences, and we were all cool. And it was dope. That was a dope time.
Yeah, Inflewential Records, man.
Inflewential Records.
It was a good time. You know, like now that you say it like that, like now, you know, I mean, you know. Part of me might think sometimes, like I didn't make it because of this, that, and this and that, but it's about the journey, right? And like that was a really good time. Like
that's it, man.
Yeah.
Like you gotta appreciate the journey. I said that in a post one day because it's the truth. Like you can't put everything. If you put everything on the destination, it's disappointing, and it will be always in life. Like if you put all your bag, like everything's on the destination. When I get there, it's gonna be great. Mm-hmm. Like, and you don't enjoy the journey there, it's not gonna be great because it's gonna be disappointing because it's not as great as you think it is. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to get into brain chemistry, but you know, I put my degree to work. But yeah, I mean, you got the dopamine and all that stuff going on, and
just imagine
you're chasing that. Yeah, like that's what's giving you that high. Like that journey, that imagining, that chasing is what's giving you that high. It's not gonna give you the same high when you get there. So a lot of people look at that like, oh damn, like this ain't feeling how it is. I even hear people in songs say that. Like, this ain't feeling how I thought it would. Like, because of that. Like it is the journey. And I think you learn that later on in life. Like, you gotta, if you enjoy the journey, like when you get to the destination, it's great, celebrate, yeah, you made it, but the journey is where the success is. I think that's why I don't look at like what we did as a failure. Like I said, you know, we still get checks.
Like we created
$10 or what? $10 every 3 months. Like
beyond that, we created some, like, we just had a great time, and like we created some classic stuff. Like, I'll say that, you know, it was good. Like it was good stuff.
I agree.
It is good. Like,
yeah, even, I mean, you know, that's, people might look at that like that's a narcissistic thing to say, but it's not really, because I know I made some trash, but none of my verses was never trash, but we was learning how to make beats and mix and all that stuff. That part, I know, you know, I can look objectively and say it was some trash that we made while we were learning. But as far as like the actual lyrics and rapping, I don't think none of us ever had a whack verse, like, or came up with whack shit. Like, it just wasn't, you know, it just wasn't in us. But I can look at the shortcomings and see, you know, what was a shortcoming of some of the stuff.
Yeah, you know.
But I mean, is the, like you said, it's the journey though. Like, like you gotta think. I think back fondly to those times.
It was fun, you know, and like it was fun. And you're right, like that was it. I kind of wish I would have realized it then. Like, this is what it's about.
You know, that's the learning process though. Like, moving forward, you got to take that and understand it with your experiences now. And that's what I'm starting to learn. I wish I would have understood that at that time and not was just so fixated on making it, you know, sleeping. I remember we went to the radio station 3 o'clock in the morning almost in New York. Okay. It was, no, this is a different time, I think. So I just remember driving to Newark 3 o'clock in the morning and having to work at 7. Like, we got there at 3 or 2. We got there at 2 because it was one of, you know how they did hip hop. Like, we was on at 2 o'clock, 2 to 4. Like, they had the radio show. So,
and he was a beast. Cuzzo was a beast.
Yeah.
Like, he went on there and just was going.
I still got that tape. I found it the other day. The tape of that broadcast. And I remember when we was driving home and they were playing it. Like, it wasn't pre-recorded, but they played the song. They played our song. And I remember, like, we didn't get to hear the interview because they had already aired it, but they played our song while we was driving home. And I just remember that gave me so much energy, even though I had to be up two hours to go to work and drive an hour and a half to work. Like, that's what I did. I did that every day. Like, record 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, probably driving my mom nuts because we used to be in the basement. You know?
Oh, yeah.
We used to be in the basement.
I remember some of them sessions, and I remember the one when we was making Man Up, and I was acting out this one part, and I hit the door, and I was yelling, and I'm like, yo, I didn't think about it then.
Yeah.
But then
I think about it now because I got kids in the house, like, you know, but I didn't think about it then.
I mean, they was like, that was pretty cool of your parents, yo, like, to let us be like expressing ourselves like that, you know?
Now, my mom was my biggest supporter, for real. Like, nobody else, not saying nobody else supported me and my family, but my mom was like, she was putting the money behind stuff. She was helping me out with buying, you know, equipment and stuff like that. She just believed. Like, she put her money where her mouth was. Like, and like, I always think about that now. You know, I mean, I appreciated it then, but I don't think I appreciate it as much as I do now.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, like, she basically put half or maybe more of the money up to get the CDs. Because, you know, you had to pay one lump sum. I think it was like $1,700 to get those CDs at the time. Now you can't give a CD away. Like, now disc makers because it was disc makers, and disc makers now they sending me emails trying to sell me 1,000 CDs for like $500, stuff like that. Because don't nobody listen to CDs like that.
Yeah, I want to be respectful, but like CDs for what?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, at this point, like,
yeah, like I mean, I still listen to some CDs
like I
in
would,
the car,
even if I wanted to. Like,
yeah, like why you have 50? I don't have like 50 million because there's no
but
reason
you even
to.
got the thing. To
yeah, I got a slot. Okay. Yeah, I got a CD in my car. So yeah, some cars only come with CD players now.
Yeah, I was listening to a tape. I had one of them.
I don't even have a tape deck.
Oh no, because I just happened to be like, I put my work truck in the shop,
mm-hmm.
and so they let me hold their service truck, and it's a old, I guess, so I had a tape deck.
Oh, okay.
And I had this tape. I had recorded Willennium. Yes, I liked Will Smith.
Listen, Lost and Found was dope.
But I had recorded some stuff on there, and I listened to it, yo, and like, I just want to thank God, because it's like, I don't know if you're supposed to say it or not, but I like, how can I say this? I enjoyed what I did.
Yeah,
I think I was really good, but
you
it's
were
like,
really good.
Oh, thank you.
No, you were really good. You were super creative, and you didn't care. And I think if it would have been now, like, you would have been the one to blow from, social media, just because of your style and stuff and the stuff you came up with. Like, you didn't care that you couldn't sing really, but when you sung, you made it sound good. You could hold a note. Like, you knew what you was doing. Like, even I just remember you recording hooks. And like, I'll just record a hook once, put some reverb on it, double it up maybe, and that. But you would record vocals like 4 times. Like, you would have a low version, you would have a high version, you would have like the middle version, regular version, like, and just all combine it. And then you would be, I was the one that knew how to mix and master. I mean, you learned some of that stuff just from being around, but I did mainly all of that. But you had direction. Like, you would be like, nah, make this low, make this high, you was basically producing yourself. Mm-hmm. So like, all the way around. So I just want to say that, like, you really were good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nah, for real.
Thank you, man.
That ain't being hyperbolic either. Like, that's real.
And I used to do that because like I would sing something, right? And I wanted that perfect vocal, right? But I don't know, like, it didn't come out how I wanted it to. So what I noticed is when I did the high and the low, it sounded good like that. Like, it's kind of what I was going for, mm-hmm. but it wasn't exactly. I wanted that one single good, right, there. But yeah. I wasn't I can't say I was a singer, but I liked harmonizing, and I liked how I sounded sometimes.
Yeah. Like,
I think over the years, I think I've gotten better.
Yeah, definitely.
Nah,
but I think even some of that stuff that, may not have been great harmonies, you still knew what you was doing. Mm-hmm. Like it's hard to explain, but you knew what, and I think that just came naturally. I don't know if it came from listening to music or what, but that is definitely like a talent, like what you did on some of the songs, because like I said, I don't know where it came from. Like, I don't know if it's just from you listening to music and hearing it differently than other people, because I would sometimes wonder about some songs and be like, well, how they make this sound like this? But then you would do something and it would sound like that. Mm-hmm. And I would be like, oh, well, maybe that's what they did. And maybe you heard that, or maybe it just came out of nowhere. Like, even with the highs and lows, like I said, I started doing it because you did it, but I never thought about like making a hook, like having a high and doing a whole hook and then doing another whole hook and having a low version, just saying, the same thing, stacking. I guess stacking vocals is what it is, but yeah. Like, we was I was reading, trying to learn stuff. I didn't know how to make a song really, like structure wise, till we started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I think, but I think just being a fan of music, and then like, yeah, I think them early tapes helped me with that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
see, and that's the other thing. Like you were recording before me, like way before, like because you was a recording. Like even if it wasn't a professional setup, like you were understanding some of the mechanics, like more than I did. Everything I learned out of book, and then started doing it. And I think you learned from doing it. And you know, then you took whatever stuff that I learned and would say, and you took that too. But yeah, I think that's what when I tell people to just do it. Like when people ask about YouTube, when people ask about anything, even this, like, you know, I really had to sit down because I felt like I wasn't equipped enough to do something, to do a podcast, because I never did one. But I had to learn how to work the equipment, had to learn what, you know, make it kind of look okay. So
yeah, and you always been good at that. Like you want to do something and you learn how to do it and you put it into practice. You do it. You know.
Yeah, nah, I've always been like that. Like I've always been technical, and put it that way. I've always been into tech. I've always been into new tech, like coming out. That's why when staying up on stuff, and that's one of my strengths. I understand that.
Yeah, because I'll be late. Like you already had some. It take me a while to catch up. Like,
that's funny because when we was trying to come up with a name, what did you say? What was the name? Double take or
third take.
Third take. Yeah, he was like third take might be the name because it takes you a few times. Yeah. But listen, when you record it, you ain't need 3 takes. You used to come in there and spit, and you know you might need 1 take or no. The thing is, you would spit the whole thing straight. But then you'll listen to it and be like, nah, I gotta do that over 500 times.
I wonder now that I think about it, like, was that a flaw in the way I like to record? Because, but I remember when we was recording Bumping That Whitney, and I guess I didn't feel like the energy was right for the first verse. And I did it again, and then it was popping, you know? Yeah. So, like, I don't know, like, but I also like to, I felt like it was cheating. Like you got these, like, I don't want to say old school rapper rules, but like, I kind of felt like, yo, if I stop, remember we was with New Trees. And Wild Miz was telling me like, yo, like I could punch that. And I was like, nah. Like, I got to spit it all the way through. And I'm spitting. I'm like,
because you was going, and you looked at that like a badge of honor, which I understand. You know what I mean? But I think you looked at it like a badge of honor. Like you were like, nah, I ain't not spitting this whole verse. Like I know this whole verse and I know I can spit it good. And you would spit the whole thing. Cause I would do it sometimes. And I ain't gonna lie, like some of our sessions, I was tired. Like, you know, cause we would be in there for a while doing one verse. Just because you would need it to be perfect.
Right.
Like, and that's not a bad thing. You know, looking back, that's not a bad thing. Like but I do think there's a common ground that has to be found sometimes. Like,
because then the energy can change too.
And I've seen that a couple times. Like
and then I think a couple times we not even a couple times we've gone back and like, yo, that first one
was better.
Yeah,
I remember them days. Them days used to be long though.
But like I remember one time you posted something on Facebook and you had a picture or a video of me and you was like, this dude is recording one word over and over again to get it right.
Yeah, like 50 times. I remember that. You was punching in like one word doing, I don't know if it was an ad lib.
It was the beginning of Bumping That Whitney.
Because you ain't punch shit in. I don't want people to get it confused. Like you ain't punching nothing in.
It's
like
just
you
the
basically
intro.
Spit whole verses through. That's how we always did it. We all did that.
But when I listened to Bumping That Whitney, it was right. That song, it was right when like that. Yeah, like it was perfect. Like the start. Of that,
yeah.
You know, and you gotta feel when you hear it. It gotta feel right.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think you didn't know that. Like you just heard that one and was like, "Nah, I could do it different or better," or you know. And after doing it, I think that's a testament to life too. Like after you did it a couple times, then you realize like, oh no, the first one was better than these other ones. So I did get it right, but you don't know you got it right until you get it wrong. And that's kind of how life is. Like in order to know right, you gotta know wrong. You gotta do something wrong sometimes. You know, you want to try to avoid it, but you can't. So I do want to switch gears a little bit.
Okay,
we can talk about some.
We can talk about that forever, yo.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know. I mean, we'll probably get into it later in later episodes, but you want to talk about the JCole that just dropped or Kendrick? You know, just to switch on to the music, to staying with the music. So what you think about the beef?
Beef? Is it beef?
I don't think it's beef. Not beef.
I mean, you know, I do think that
I should say the battle. I
do think that the way that, and okay, on this podcast, I just want to say, I mean respect for everyone. I'm going to say how I feel, and I'm going to try to put it as tactfully as possible.
This guy here is the respect guy. So if he like serious though, you always been like that. Like you always think about how it's going to affect somebody, even if you don't know the person, and maybe they'll never hear it. Like you always been that person, which I don't think is a bad thing. I know people on the opposite spectrum that it's not good. So if I had to pick, I would pick your spectrum, like because you do. So anything can't nobody. I say that to say you can't say it's malice behind your words, no matter what you say, because you've always been thoughtful. You'd always thought about it, but it's your opinion. It's your opinion. Yeah. Me, on the other hand.
Yeah, but I just like, you know, to say certain things, is it necessary to say that's trash? Like to say certain things, like, and then also,
and I'll be like, that's trash. Like, but I mean, that's an opinion. Still, it's an opinion. There's stuff out there that's trash to me.
And then, you know,
that people don't.
Recently, I have said that about something because I really didn't like what somebody was doing. You know what I mean? And I think maybe I would say it about something like that.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, people's behavior.
No, but it was a song. But what they was doing on the song.
Was doing on the song. Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you meant somebody's behavior. I was about to say that people trash. Like there's some people that's just trash. But yeah,
but or the competition,
whatever you, yeah. Because I don't think it's real beef.
No,
they was cool.
But although it seems that Drake and now Cole have reacted a certain way to Kendrick's advances. Like when he does it, when he did it with Control, when he did it with this on this verse on Like That. To me, it don't seem so like beefy or like so filled with malice, right?
Yeah,
it don't seem like it.
No, I can understand that.
But with the way they take it, and I'm not saying that's wrong either, because like with Drake, at first I thought Drake overreacted when he said these are harsh words, right, about Kendrick's verse on Control. But then I thought, like, okay, so from his perspective, if I take you on tour with me, just before you blew, and I get on a song of yours, and what else? And you go on my album just before a lot of people know who you are, right? And then you say, I'm trying to murder you and make sure your core fans never heard of you. Maybe that is harsh.
I think that is harsh. Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, I understand it's metaphors, but metaphorically, he's not actually trying to kill him. And I know people that's outside the culture.
And I think I can understand. Yeah, true. Like a lot of things that are said, you don't literally mean that, but like if you really love me, if you really got love for me, the line he said right before he said, "I'm trying to murder you." Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you not want me to eat? Like, I'll put you on to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, so I kind of can understand it. But
I think it just goes to competition, basically. And hip hop.
Right.
Hip hop.
But it's like, I guess
hip hop's the only genre that does this.
But yeah.
You know? I mean, I don't know. I just think it's rooted in competition. Right. It's rooted in battles.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. I think some people that are not into hip hop don't understand and sometimes are like, why these guys always gotta fight, you know, and do stuff like that. But I just think it's what it is. It's just rooted in that competition.
No, but you're right. And I think I understood it more when I was younger. Because I feel like that feeling, I think I can understand how Kendrick was feeling on Control. Like he just went off. He just went in.
I think for him it was just friendly competition, friendly battle. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. Even though when you know you hear certain stuff, it doesn't sound friendly, and it's not friendly. That's like, so to speak. But I think he's like, listen, we're competitors. This is what it is. If I'm going to do this, I'm not pulling punches.
Yeah. I get it. Because it's almost like if we cracking on each other, we gonna say some stuff like that. We don't really mean.
Yeah. Right? I mean, that you that's perfect. Like, you know, growing up, that's what it was. And some people got offended.
True.
Some people was fighting behind it. Sometimes, I mean, and it would hurt your feelings sometimes. Like, I've got my feelings hurt and I've hurt other people's feelings. So I can understand, but that's kind of where it's rooted too. I mean, it's a cultural thing as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that actually may be true. You get on the mic and you cracking on people.
Basically, that's basically what it is. Like, you just, you know, you doing your thing.
And I think the thing is, like, I'm not taking it personally, but like I said, from Drake's perspective, after doing all that stuff, like, I can't say he was wrong for feeling that way now, you know? But then also, to get back more currently, the way JCole responded with, what's it called? 7-minute drill?
Yeah, 7-minute drill. That's
the way he
3 minutes
on that. It just sounded more like serious. Like, it sounded more like, I don't know if I didn't expect.
I didn't have the gun bars.
No,
was it the gun bars?
I mean, it was that.
I understand where he's coming though. I understand he's feeling like, oh, you think this is sweet because I'm not this person. Like, but I've come from this. You know what I mean? Like, I can be this person if you want me to, but that ain't me. Like, that's not technically me. And I think that's what he was trying to convey in that song.
Right, but I mean, I guess for me, like, that's not what we on. Like, Kendrick just blew everything up with words, and it's not.
But I think some of that is metaphors too. I don't think they're all taken to be natural, but I do think he said a couple things in there. Not to cut you off, but
okay, yeah, he said.
I do think he said a couple things in there that can be construed as like his boys. And I think that's real. You know what I mean? Like, my boy came and was like, what we doing? Like, you know, he's like, chill out. Like, he says that in there, not in those words, but that's basically what he said. And I can understand it. Like, all your peoples ain't the same as you know? So, but he's like, chill out. If that's going down, it's going to be me doing it because, you know, that's just the type of person I am. I'm not going to have you fight my battles.
I guess, to be honest, now this is where I don't understand that. Over this, his boy wants to, like, over that verse.
Mm-hmm.
What did he say? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess that where I don't understand that, or like, why is, You know what I mean? And then like,
well, he said at the end, I'm gonna put it out there right now. I'm JCole biased. I ain't gonna lie. He's my favorite out of the three. So I just want to put that out there. I am justifying a lot. But I think what he said at the end is why he's like, this is a warning. Like, this is a warning, just showing y'all where I could go if need be. And I don't think he's talking about violence. I think he put them in there to just let you know, like, I'm not that far removed from everything.
But I just want to say, to cut to it, respect to JCole, but nah, this ain't it.
This ain't it.
This ain't it, brother. Like,
I do think
it's like, yo, you gotta come harder than that.
I think he came at the same speed as Kendrick. That's what I think. No, and I think he's like, because Kendrick's wasn't that great to me.
No,
Kendrick's wasn't that great.
First of all, this is a hit song. This is a number one song.
But that's not his song.
Still,
that's not his song.
So it don't matter.
It do matter. I think that matters.
No, it don't matter. All that matters is what the people hear. They heard that song. They hear Kendrick over that wonderful, illustrious beat.
That wonderful.
And then like you hear Cole over like, no, these beats ain't.
You don't like that beat? I thought that shit was dope.
It's not what like that. I mean,
I like Kendrick's. Well, I like Kendrick's verse. Let me put it that way. I don't really like the song. I don't get down with.
I like the hook. I like the hook.
I do like the hook in Kendrick's verse.
Respect.
I don't even know if I like the beat as much, but I can recognize it. I mean, I know I like the original beat. The sample.
I like what Metro Boomin did with all of that, especially after Kendrick's verse when it goes into the higher pitch sounds, the way he kept repeating that.
But even when JCole switches up, like I think that beat is harder.
The second beat is better.
Yeah, the second beat is better.
Both of those beats are not as good as the like that beat. Like you got
I need to hear them back to back.
And then again. To me, I
just heard JCole's, so that could be swaying me too. I haven't heard Kendrick's in like a week, so
I've been listening.
I heard it when it first came out, and I listened to it twice, and that was pretty much it.
It's good. Like, I mean, it's good. And I just want to say, like, I wasn't completely sure about it at first. It sounds good and all of that, but I've heard like more technical stuff, harder disses, but it's like, but it's good though. But that him saying that, like, motherfuck the big three. It's just big me. That was big.
That is the line. Like, and I think that's the main line that goes to JCole.
Right.
Because I personally, I was telling you earlier, like, I think a lot of that song was more towards Drake. Not saying it was supposed to be or he set it out to be, but a lot of the stuff he said in there was towards Drake. Like, to me.
Right.
Like, what I was hearing was stuff that Drake did, and Drake, responses from that. It wasn't a whole lot for JCole. It might have been a few subs, but the big three line, that was the main line because they've been the big three.
And my thing is like, just for me personally, Kendrick kept it music for the most part. I think he said something about walking with a stick and K with all these nines. I ain't take it all. It's all metaphorical to me. Like,
but that's what he was talking about now. Stick is a gun and nine is a gun.
Right,
so,
right.
I mean, it's all metaphorically. Like, do I think he's gonna kill him? No.
Bottom line to me, and I think not even just to me, I think Kendrick is up, and he still is up. Like, I think he's up.
I disagree with that.
I think he's up.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
I mean, I disagree with him because he doesn't release a lot.
And the stuff he back. When he dropped that, he right back. What that got to do with it? What that got to do with this here?
I ain't saying it got to do with anything. Oh, so you talking about you talking about all the battle? I'm talking about all in general.
So what
I don't think he on top. That's what I'm saying.
I think about all that. What is here's the thing. I like all of them, and they all good at something different. You get something different from all of them. Like for me, this is just for me. Kendrick makes the most meaningful music. He's the best at the albums. He was the best at making albums, right? He's artistic. Like he makes classic albums, important messages.
Well, I don't know about that.
He has
I don't
some
agree.
classics, right?
He has definitely Good Kid, Mad City is a classic. I don't know what the other classic is. Maybe the newest one he had. I don't even know the name of it.
Oh,
that's probably
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Yeah, that might be a classic.
Like,
but
I think To Pimp a Butterfly for me may be a classic. For me, I always liked that album.
I've skipped on that album, so anytime I skip, it can be a classic. That's just me. That's just how my criteria is. If there's an album that I skip songs or I want to skip, like I listen to an album the whole way through, regardless of if I like the song or not. I just go through an album from beginning to end when I first hear it. But after that, and the thing is, when I first hear it, if there's songs that I want to skip, it's not classic to me. To me.
Okay.
That's just how my criteria is. Like if there's a song that I feel like skipping and then I skip later on too, there's been songs that's the opposite that I've skipped or want to skip, and then later on they grew on me and I'm like, oh, this is dope. There's a few songs like that throughout hip hop.
What's an undeniable classic that we both think is an undeniable classic?
In all of hip hop?
Yeah.
I think Reasonable Doubt.
Yes.
Yes. There's a lot. Yeah, I think there's a lot of classics. Illmatic, of course. Illmatic is
okay.
Illmatic is a undeniable classic.
Let me say from my perspective, and this is just from my perspective. I accept that, but it was. I don't know if it was ever something. Maybe it was a little before my time or something. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know if it was ever something.
How old are you? You mind telling your age?
I'm 42.
Okay. So I wasn't sure how much younger you were than me.
That doesn't mean
I forgot.
I mean, I guess like I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I was probably alive.
That's what I think.
When
you were
okay. Another one.
You were probably listening to music then.
Yeah, but maybe different
music.
I don't know, but I listen to hip hop. But another one, Ready to Die. Ready to Die is.
This is a classic.
Do you think Ready to Die is a classic?
Yeah. I do think it's a classic. But I do think they put a lot of weight on Biggie that I don't think he earned because he passed away. I will say that. I don't want to offend anybody from Brooklyn. I don't want to offend anybody that's Biggie fans because I'm a Biggie fan. I'm just saying objectively, I feel like they put him in a higher category than he proved to be because he passed away as a great. Yes, he was great. He only had one album. Well, 2 albums. The second one came out after he passed. But
I mean, I guess it's.
But I think Ready to Die, to answer your question, it is. I think it is a classic.
I guess it's subjective. Like maybe, I'm sure to a lot of people.
It is subjective.
That is a classic.
It's music.
To me, I wasn't hip. I remember. I was in I don't know if I was in middle school or something. I remember when that came out and I wasn't on it. But Life After Death, I think Life After Death is better. I think stuff on Ready to Die sounds dated. Like if I go, because I went back and listened to it.
No, it does. It is dated.
But I can still bump like Life After Death, like, most of it. And it sounds good. I like the transition. He made it like kind of a transition. Like he used to rap more with a high pitch. And then for Life After Death, even though on Ready to Die, he kind of calmed down.
Mm-hmm.
And I like him rapping like that. But I think Life After Death is better. So for Nas is it was written. It's not my favorite. I gotta say what
Illmatic?
Yeah, it's not. I try to listen to it. It sounds it sounds jazzy. I'm not. This is my perspective. It's not that entertaining to me.
You gotta get out. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But
to me, it was written as more like, okay, that's the Nas I like. Like that's
it was written was very.
It was written.
Written was good.
Yeah, and I don't like everything on it was written, but it's some fire.
I think it was written didn't get the respect that it should have because he was kind of crossing over on some of the music. But yeah, nah, I can't rock with Illmatic not being a classic.
I didn't say it. I'm not saying it's not.
For you. I'm telling you, I don't care how subjective music is. It should be a classic in your brain. Nah, I'm just.
I'm not saying it's not. I can respect it.
I'm just.
But it just didn't hit me.
Like I said, it's subjective. Everybody is different, and it could have been an age thing, but because you gotta understand when it came out, people wasn't rapping like Nas was on there.
Okay.
When it came out. Like it changed the game, really. I mean, Rakim, he got his style from Rakim, really. I mean, a lot of it anyway. And I think everybody knows that. I think he'll say that. Not even his style, his like Rakim changed the actual game. Like nobody was rapping lyrically and on point like Rakim was when he came out.
I just thought of something. It's probably nothing.
What?
It's probably nothing.
What's that?
Have Rakim and Jay-Z always been good? This is probably nothing.
I mean, you don't know.
But listen, this is why.
Why is that?
The God MC. Who is that?
Well, I mean, it's Rakim, but it's Jay-Z too. I mean, Jay-Z, you know.
So why did he do that?
Borrowed
the
from,
God MC.
You know, he borrowed from everybody. So, I mean, what you gonna do?
But it probably wasn't a point of contention, but I just thought of that. Like, wait a minute. That's Rakim, but he's saying that's him. So how did Rakim feel about that?
Oh, I don't know. I think Rakim did a song with him.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I mean,
recently, I'm not sure to tell you the truth.
But that just was a thought that I never thought of before. Like, he did say that. The God MC, me, Jehovah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I thought that was Rakim.
But I think that's just what it was. That was him.
Yeah.
But the reason Nas Illmatic is a classic is because
we might have to have a listening session, or I might have to go listen to it.
I mean, I think we should have a listening session, and we could break it down, or I could break it down. Okay. Or you could break it down, like what you don't like, or that would be cool. I mean, maybe that could be a future episode.
It's not, you know.
But I mean, just the beats. Like nobody was getting a whole bunch of different A-list producers then. Like he started that.
Okay.
Like every song had a different producer. Well, not different. I think P-Rock did 2 songs on there. Like a couple of the producers did a couple songs, but every song was produced by like a high, like Q-Tip, a high production producer.
Mm-hmm.
Like beat maker, I should say, because I don't know how much they were producing back then, like now. But yeah, they were multiple beat makers that were at the top of their game, and his lyrics, you know, just the imagery was on point, and the songs were dope.
I want to say this,
all of them. I still listen to that front to back, like ain't no skips.
So there's a consensus for Reasonable Doubt on us when it comes to Illmatic.
Illmatic is the consensus of number 1.
But listen, I can
above Reasonable Doubt.
I concede that Illmatic.
I'm just saying. I'm saying that's
what you mean?
Consensus.
What you mean?
Like Illmatic is the.
You think Illmatic is better than Reasonable Doubt?
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And I think everybody, more people than none, do.
You know,
because Illmatic is hailed as a classics classic.
So I do remember thinking when I heard Reasonable Doubt that Jay-Z was rapping like Nas. I do remember thinking that.
Well, he changed his style. You know, he was rapping fast before.
Yeah.
Before he came out.
But It's
but
like,
I don't know necessarily if he was rapping like Nas. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
he might, I don't know, consciously, I should say. I think he changed his style, but maybe he was conscious. I mean, a lot of people say that he does do that.
I think all I'm saying is I concede, like, I can understand and respect that changed the game and all that, but I can't say that it hit me, the experience I had, and I may have listened to it once, maybe, and I think I did like it, but I just, you know, as they say on the Joe Budden podcast, I wasn't outside for that one.
Yeah,
like I just and Biggie, I think I just wasn't paying attention, like, and it didn't.
Well, you were. How old were you in 1991?
I think I was in middle school. 91. I turned 10 in October of 91.
Wait, when did that come out? 94? 92? No, 92. I think. So let me look. I gotta check. Let me see.
92. I turned 11 in that year. I was 10 most of the year.
Yeah, like you're not taking that in.
I like Kid and Play, yo.
Yeah, like you're not taking that in as, yeah, we need a listening session because I think that's going to be a different episode. Oh no, 94 it came out. So you were a little bit older, but you probably still wasn't paying attention like you should have. I ain't going to say you should have, but
I think, you know, even this classic talk, like some you have a consensus, but I think it still is subjective, kind of.
No, it definitely is. I think it definitely is subjective, but I think more people raise their eyebrows at saying Illmatic's not a classic.
Oh, I didn't say it. I didn't say that. I'm just saying,
you backpedaling? What's going on? Like
I'm saying that
it wasn't a classic to you.
No,
I'm not saying classic. Like I think a lot of people,
that may be true.
Yeah.
To be honest, that may be true.
No, and that is music subjective. Music's subjective, and it is like no matter what. But I think more people would have an issue with that than
I understand
almost any album.
But hip hop
fans, period.
Right. But if I didn't have that experience.
Yeah, but you didn't have that experience.
Right.
Yeah. It's just like I equate it to Transformers. Like I say it all the time. Some of these kids' G1 Transformers were the Michael Bay movies.
Mm-hmm.
I hate them. Like I hate the Michael Bay movies and the figures.
Mm-hmm.
Like as you can see, I got a lot of Transformers. So like, but I'm G1. But a lot of these kids, that was their G1. So that's what they know.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're looking at G1 like, yo, that was trash.
Yeah.
Had a little intermission.
I just did not have the experience with Illmatic that, you know, most people who consider a classic have had.
Yeah, no, true. I feel that. I mean, how could you? You was a lot younger.
Mm-hmm. But I think even when you revisit some stuff, you can see. Like I had to go back. I think I had to go back and listen to Reasonable Doubt because I caught on to Jay-Z like after that, and I had to go back.
Oh, okay. After Reasonable Doubt,
but I felt it like when I heard it.
See, I that was around the time when that was like, yeah, like when that came out, I was like, oh, this dude in the street for real. Like just some of the stuff he was saying, and some people didn't understand what he was talking about, but yeah, that was something. It's subjective because I think I was using Transformers as the catalyst to that conversation. Yeah, because like different people, different generations is different. Like I said, the younger people don't like. They're like G1 is trash. And that's blasphemous. You know, that's blasphemous for Transformers fans. But they were young. They ain't watched G1. They watched RID in 2001, or they watched some other thing.
Yeah, I think it's about people's experience with something.
Yeah, and it's experiences at a certain age, I think, too.
Right.
Like a certain time in your life. There's certain times in your life, and I think scientists just just dropped something talking about like how your brain experiences music as a child or as in certain age frames.
Mm-hmm.
Just because how your brain experiences the world, period. But it experiences music differently, and it gets burned in your brain from like 11 to 15. The music you experience during that time is different than after that time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's exact. You know, I might be making up ages.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make up stats. This isn't scientific, but I did read a study about, it was a scientific study that I just don't remember the ages, but I think it's around 11 to 15. Like your brain experiences music differently. So that's what you were saying. Like you listen to stuff when you was younger and you understand how it made you feel.
Yeah.
You might not even know what it was talking about. Like how many songs, R&B songs we sang as a kid that we had no business singing.
Right.
Like what they was talking about. A song spirit. Not just R&B, but that's crazy to think about. But we wasn't even on it like that. Like people were like, oh, you shouldn't be singing that song. Ain't nobody say that because we wasn't on it like that. Like we wasn't thinking about what it was talking about.
Right.
It was how we felt.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were singing a song because of how we felt. That's what music does, or should. Watching any good shows lately? Talking about some shows.
Oh, well, I mean, on Netflix, I watched Blood and Water.
Blood and Water.
It's good. I say it's a good show. There's 4 seasons. The first 3 seasons are really good. The last season is not as good. I mean,
what's that about?
Oh, in respect to all those people who worked on that show and you know, in the 4th season as well, I'm just saying from our point of view that
it's trash.
There was a drop off on the 4th season because the villains changed. And, you know, from the beginning, you're more invested in the villains, and it just seemed more serious and more threatening, the villains that were in the first 3 seasons. And then they got them out of here. And then, maybe I shouldn't say that, but
no spoilers. Spoiler alert.
Then like the villain in the 3rd one, the 4th season was like, we didn't even know who the person was. So yeah, it wasn't as like looming and scary.
Oh, okay.
But it's a good show. It takes place in South Africa. Maybe, I don't know if it's Johannesburg, but they make South Africa look lit. Like,
yeah,
man, should I go?
I've been there.
They show some other stuff.
I've been there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It's I mean, you know, people make Africa look crazy on TV, but it's just like, you know, they got places just like here and better. They got looking like Wakanda, some places. Like Cape Town University I went to, and you know, it was a city. It's a city. Like it's just like one of our cities. But that I don't know. I might have to check that out. I've been looking for some new stuff to watch.
It's about a teenage girl, and her sister was kidnapped as a baby. And
don't tell too much. Try to keep it a little spoiler free.
Her sister was kidnapped
if you can, but just know it may be some spoilers if y'all don't want that. But
and so this is about this is in the preview.
Oh, okay.
But this is about her basically trying to find her sister. Right. So, and it's good. It's good, man. It's a good show. I enjoyed that. You know what? I don't know if you ever got into this, but Avatar.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, did you watch Avatar?
Here's the thing. The live action.
Did you watch the cartoon? Let me ask you that first.
Was
the cartoon good to you? Did you like the cartoon? Did you watch the cartoon?
Here's what happened.
Growing up.
No, but listen, here's what happened. Because I didn't have that experience, I started watching the live action show and I liked it. This is good.
Yeah.
I liked it so much, I started in between watching the cartoon.
Don't do
Watched the whole thing.
Messed up.
Loved it.
Loved the cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cartoon was dope.
I did watch the show again, and it's not as good.
And that's what I think it is. Now, I watched the cartoon, but I did not remember a lot of it. I did remember pieces, but I didn't remember when stuff exactly happened. Like I know a lot of people that has complaints about the Avatar show. They were like, oh, they were out of place. They were going up and down. They were doing different things with the storyline. Like they crammed some stuff because Avatar has like Korra, the Adventures of Korra, which is an Avatar show, but it's not Avatar, but it's in the Avatar world. So there's a whole bunch of lore, and I think they try to slam in a whole bunch of lore, and they try it. I think it's just a hard thing to do. Also, I think some of the writing was trash.
Okay.
I recognize how hard it is to make a show and all that stuff. Like you said, not trying to disparage anybody that worked on this show, but there's only so much actors can do to crap lines. Like when your lines are shitty, like it's only so much you have to be a top tier actor in order to make bad lines better. Let me put it that way. And I don't think there was too many people in that show that was top tier. I do think Aang, the dude who played Aang, I think he translated well. I think he translated Aang well.
Yeah. I mean, I guess nothing's going. I don't want to nitpick. Not that he's ever going to,
It's never. The thing is, it's never going to live up to the cartoon. That's where I think a lot of people go wrong at, and that's why it's so hard to remake a cartoon into live action or anything with source material, unless you stay strict to the source material, which doesn't always translate well to a show or a movie. But we've seen it done and done well. That's what I think personally. I think people need to take that. I've seen it done well with the Watchmen movie. Was source material done well? Is basically the comic book. Like, but I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people that make these movies and shows, they're creatives, so they're like, I can't just take this that's already written and just put it over here. But that's what a lot of people want. They want this stuff that's already written. They want to put it over here. But a lot of people are creatives. Like they don't want to do that. Like that's not creative, in their eyes. But I think that's what it takes. What's the other show I just seen recently? I can't even remember, but they did it well. Oh man, I can't remember.
And it doesn't always fail if you do something different.
No, The Walking Dead is the prime example. Even though the writing and the acting's always been good, but the writing on that show fell off as the seasons. But they introduced a character that wasn't even in the comic book, and he became #1 character on the show, Daryl. So he was supposed to die. Like I think the first couple episodes he was, but then they changed it. Or maybe the first season he was supposed to die, but everybody liked him, so they're like, oh no, you can't kill him. And now he got his own spinoff, like 10 years later. So I think it can work if you have great writing and great actors. I think both have to be there. Like if you have mediocre actors, you need really great writing. If you have mediocre writing, you need really great actors. But when you got both, I think you can do whatever you want, somewhat, as long as it stays, in the vein of it.
Now, okay, here's what I can do, because I'm finding it a little like a little challenging, because I know how I feel, but I don't know if I should say it. So I'll just say this is how I felt, right?
Yeah, don't find it challenging. This is wide open. Like this is how you feel.
So after watching the cartoon Avatar: The Last Airbender, when I started watching the show, it seemed boring to me. It seemed like there was long stretches of no action. I just had to get through it as compared to watching the show. Now, what I can say about the live action show on Netflix is that, like, I like the fighting scenes.
Yeah, the choreography was great. The special effects,
the landscapes,
like all that. I think the choreography was great. The fighting was great, somewhat, besides a couple things. And I think the visual effects were pretty good. Yeah, I mean, they were great in some aspects. Some aspects they were just good, but I think they were good enough in those aspects that were just good. But yeah, I think the writing, the delivery of some of the lines, I think they were unseasoned. Some of the actors they're young for one, but I don't use that as an excuse because we got Stranger Things, which is mostly kid actors, and they all dope. Like they all did their thing.
But I think, and maybe if I would have watched it without watching the cartoon, I probably would have enjoyed the live action show better.
I enjoyed it because I didn't remember, and I think that's why I say because, but that's my theory because I didn't remember a lot of the cartoon.
And I think for me, like I liked Sokka the most, as far as coming from the cartoon. I liked him. He was like a live action cartoon to me in the show.
See, I didn't like him.
No?
I didn't like him.
Okay.
No, Aang was the best to me.
Aang was good.
Like, he translated. I think he did a good job.
Yeah, but you don't. I guess you're not going to get 100%. Like, but I think he was more Aang like than Aang in the movie.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. The other thing is my main reference is the movie because I don't remember the cartoon as much. Mm-hmm. And the movie was trash.
Here's the thing.
So
people say that.
Sorry, M. Night, but it was trash.
Here's the thing.
It was trash.
I watched it.
It was trash.
I watched it when it came out. I knew nothing about Avatar: The Last Airbender. I watched that movie.
Well, that's why.
And I liked it, and I wanted another one.
That's why. I mean, there was supposed to be another one because there's more to the story.
Right. But then,
like where he stopped was like the first season.
But then I went back.
Just like they did it here. Just like they did here.
Oh yeah.
Like they're supposed to be doing.
But I guess like
as the seasons,
it didn't do well enough, right? Or the critics didn't like it.
Yeah, but they said they're working on season 2 now.
No, I'm talking about the movie.
Oh, the movie. Yeah, the movie was trash because nobody
years and years
compared to the cartoon. Like I think back then too, I knew enough of the cartoon because it was closer to when I watched it that I was like, yo, this is trash.
I liked it. And then
now watching this, I compared it and when the first 2 episodes were great.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is.
The first episode, just to start, I was like, yo, this is the first 10 minutes is better than the movie. Yeah. The whole movie. That's how I felt. So I was I think I was skewed. It was skewed, but then it dropped off. And I heard it was $15 million an episode. Jesus Christ. Like, that's crazy.
But maybe you're right about that too. Like, because I do remember enjoying it at the beginning, and then like,
no, it definitely dropped off. Like the writing dropped off. They started changing the story. I think some of the characters, like what's the old dude? The king dude. I forget his name.
I think it starts with a B.
But yeah, I don't think they kind of translated him because he was cut. He was like 100 years old, but he was cut and could fight. They translated that well, but I don't think he acted as, and a lot of that is a cartoon. Like it's a cartoon at the end of the day, even though it has some deep, meaningful story.
But they can do it.
Yeah,
they can do it. I don't know nothing about acting or the movie business.
I know a little about it, but
yeah, they could have did it. They could have did it.
No, they could have. I think they just needed more practice. Kind of like Iron Fist.
But well, from my perspective, I understood why people didn't like the movie after seeing the show. But I watched it again recently, and I still like the movie. Like, I don't know what, I still like I understand that the bending period was not up to par, right? But it didn't take me out of the movie.
Everything wasn't up to par in that movie to me.
No, it didn't.
No, you know what I didn't like about the movie? Was the emo Aang.
Okay.
Like the whole point of Avatar and why it had emotional connection was because he was a kid. Mm-hmm. He just wanted to be a kid. He didn't want none of this. He didn't want to fight. He just was silly. He wanted to be silly. I mean, he could get serious, and he got serious at times, but I think that was a draw. Like that's what made it sad. That's what made you have emotional connection because he came out of the ice 100 years and he's still a kid, but he's supposed to be this grand savior of the world, and he don't want any of that. Like, he don't want that. He just want to be with his friends. And I think in the movie they made him like he didn't even smile at all in the movie. Like, I just remember, I remember him smiling.
Yeah, I
remember him laughing. I don't remember him smiling. He was always walking around there like, I don't know what's going on. like I hate my life. My life is like he was.
No, I couldn't understand you.
He was like a 50-year-old shoe salesman.
He was playing with the
come on. Stuff. He was Al Bundy as the Avatar. That's what he was. Like, I don't know, but that's where I think they went wrong in the movie. One of the many things I think, but I think that was the main thing I didn't like, and I did like from the beginning. I liked that he was playful. He was trying to be fun. Mm-hmm. He was fun. Like he looked fun. He looked like he didn't want to train. He didn't want to do none of that. Like, that's why he ain't learn. That's why, because he wasn't taking nothing serious because it was him.
And he didn't have to because he
was so good from the beginning. Yeah. Like, he just was playing around.
We could go into the show. We could go into the cartoon because when he was doing this thing, he was scaring the people he was training.
Yeah, because they're like, what's going on?
Like, I don't know if he hurt somebody. I remember somebody like falling off a cliff or something.
Yeah, I think so.
And like, talk about. I think this show is like perfect, I think Avatar, especially the last episode when he fights the Fire Lord, it's perfect, It's like I don't see none of that stuff.
The cartoon,
yeah.
It's
just like
all that stuff, like the. I'm trying to remember because, like I said, I don't remember a lot of that cartoon. But I do remember some of the storylines. I remember what made it like emotionally drawing, like what emotionally draw me to some of that stuff. Like, as far as even, I don't want to, you can't spoil a cartoon. I mean, it's been out for years, but like the princess, like the sacrifice that she made, it didn't translate into the show because they changed it. Like, they made it weird. Like, even Aang didn't sacrifice himself in the cartoon that I'm remembering when he turned into Godzilla. I mean, let's give those spoilers. But remember when he turned into Godzilla? He didn't do that in the cartoon. Yeah. He just became the Avatar. Like, he went into the Avatar state. He ain't become a kaiju, did he?
Godzilla.
Yeah, remember at the last episode? See, we get into spoiler territory.
No, that's the thing that they did like the cartoon. They did that like the cartoon. Remember, the movie didn't do it.
The movie definitely didn't do it. No, the movie was trash with that. I don't remember him being. I remember him entering the Avatar state, but I don't remember him being that thing. Even though it visually,
he was in the middle of it.
I know.
Yeah,
but
even in the cartoon.
Oh, I ain't remember that. I ain't remember that.
But they the cartoon is better. But they did.
You reaching. You trying to. You trying to say good stuff about it, and
like we said, the effects were good.
No, the effects were great.
The action, the fighting,
fighting scenes, the choreography. I think they did great.
I like Sokka.
Yeah, I don't think Sokka was a good actor. I mean, let me take that back. I don't know. Maybe the lines he was writing or the writing that they gave him wasn't great.
Okay.
That I will say that.
I'm watching the cartoon. I'm like, how did they come up with a lot of this stuff? It's a lot of like meaningful stuff. It's like spiritual stuff, and then like the visuals in the cartoon are great. Like,
well, that's part of it. Like that's part of the lore, I think, and not even the lore. That's part of the draw, I should say, of the cartoon. I think for multiple ages is because it did have a lot of adult themes, and it was sad. Like, it had a lot of stuff that was sad in it. You know, that made it emotional.
Yeah, may be relatable in real life.
Yeah, definitely.
Even for kids, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that kids probably didn't realize they were going through, but that trend, that kind of put their thoughts into a cartoon. They probably could empathize with what was happening because they were going through it in their life. I mean, I think a lot of stuff is like that, but I definitely think there's few cartoons that are like that. What else been going on? You watch just to switch gears, you watch X-Men, the new one?
No, I've heard about it.
Were you into X-Men 95 or the old one?
I think I watched it a little bit, but
yeah, I think it came out in 94.
I don't think I was that into it.
I was not super into it. I think at the time I was too cool for cartoons. Because I think, I say that respectfully because I think it was, in my brain, not saying I was, I'm just saying, I think that's how I was thinking at that time. It's weird to me that I thought like that now, and now I watch cartoons freely. Like, I don't care, but at the time, you are a kid growing up and you're like, oh, I'm too cool for that. Like, I ain't watching no cartoons. Like, what? I think that's what it was. Cause it was like 94, 95. I had to be 18, 19. So yeah, I think I didn't watch as much. I did watch some of it because I was in the comics. So I think when I saw it come on, I'm like, oh, I wasn't actively collecting it at that time either. I probably stopped for the same reason. But this like the new one, the new one is wilding. Like I really loved it, especially the first 2 episodes. I mean, it's still good. They're having they're dealing with each X-Men, which I do like that they're like giving them their own little shine. But the first couple episodes, just hearing the biggest things that stood out was the theme song. They still got the same theme song, which is classic. The intro, which is classic, but they changed it. The animation is, some people saying it's not better than the old one. To me, it's better, but it's the same. It looks the same kind of, and they did that on purpose. You can tell. But I love that I can hear it in surround sound and in 4K. Like seeing it clear, because watching the old X-Men, because they got that on Disney too. Watching that, I just can't get into it. I watched the last episode just so I knew what was going on.
I might check it out.
Yeah, watch.
Check it out.
Watch the last episode of the old one. I would say that the finale.
Okay.
The final episode, just so you know what's going on when the first, because it's directly right after that. It takes place. That's why it's called 97, because it went off in 97, I think, or 96. It went off.
I've enjoyed some X-Men stuff, but I just never was that big on X-Men. I enjoyed Wolverine movies more than the actual altogether X-Men.
I think that's because they haven't made a good.
Okay.
That's why, because I think if they make a good rendition, because I mean I'm biased again. X-Men was my favorite team. Growing up, it just was like my favorite comic, my favorite team.
Nah, yo.
So
the Avengers got them out of here, yo.
Nah, I mean now.
Okay.
They got them out of here because that's all they had rights to. So they had to concentrate on doing the Avengers.
I have heard somebody say
but if they would have did the X-Men like they did the Avengers, think
they'll do that?
No, they're going to introduce them all together, I think. They're not going. I don't think they're going to have separate movies. Wolverine might be separate. Wolverine might be a separate movie, but I just think now it's just too late to do that.
Is it because there's another Wolverine and Deadpool's coming.
Oh yeah, Deadpool's coming out. Yeah, Deadpool 3. He's in it. Wolverine's in it, but it's really Deadpool 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So still Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this one.
I don't know if
But they already rearranged the Marvel universe to have mutants in it.
Okay.
So Miss Marvel's the first mutant, which I know people. I don't even want to get into that because people I think some people are dumb and I like that series, Ms. Marvel.
Oh, you saw the second one?
Yeah. No, I like the second one too.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
You talking about you talking about the Marvels. Yeah. Which she was in there. Ms. Marvel was in there. Okay. But I like the series.
Speaking of that, I like She-Hulk.
I like She-Hulk too.
Okay.
And it was just like the comic.
I just been hearing like a lot of She-Hulk hate.
Yeah, a lot of people hating for hating reasons.
I like She-Hulk.
I mean, I think it's funny because people be like, don't stray from the comics, don't. And then they do She-Hulk and it's just like the comics. Like she's a comedian. Like it was funny. Her comic was funny. Mm-hmm. She was wilding. She did whatever she wanted. Like she was a lawyer. I mean, the comic was just like, the show was just like the comic. And I was fine with it. Now, if you had problems with the CGI, I can understand that. Like it wasn't the greatest CGI.
Yeah, but it wasn't terrible.
No, I don't think it was terrible. I don't think it was as terrible as people made it out to be. I like most of the series. I do know, I can recognize when they're not as good, but I enjoy stuff for what it is. That's me.
What's that one? With the girl, I don't know if she can't hear.
Oh, Echo.
Yeah, that's good.
Echo.
That's good.
Yeah, I like Echo.
I think I watched the first episode of that and I thought it was a movie almost.
Yeah, I like Echo. Yeah, and the actor. The actor did very well.
Good. She is good. I like her.
And she's really deaf and she really doesn't have a leg.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's real. Like she's an amputee and she's deaf. And she's Native American, of course.
I didn't know she didn't have a leg.
Yeah.
I didn't know the character.
That's real.
Maybe I missed that part.
Yeah. I mean, because the character doesn't either. I mean, but I'm saying she's a real amputee. So
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Echo, I don't know if a lot of people know Echo, but she's from Daredevil. And she I don't think she can, well, I know and they kind of alluded to it. She was kind of like Taskmaster. If people know Taskmaster, that can study, like can look at anybody and visually mimic anybody's fighting. Echo can do that.
Oh,
Echo can read lips from like far away. Mm-hmm. Like they were starting to get, like she had technology when Kingpin gave her, spoiler alert, when Kingpin gave her them contacts that translated people's lips.
Okay.
You remember that? When she had
I didn't watch the whole. I watched like the first episode, and
I'm spoiling stuff.
No, it's okay because I don't know if I'm gonna go back and watch it, but I enjoyed what I did see.
Basically, that's her character. Like she could in the comics, she could mimic stuff. Like
so in the show, she mimicked people's fighting styles.
She kind of did, but they didn't take it to that extreme. Mm-hmm. Not yet. Anyway, and she was kind of like trying to read lips, so she was trying to get it, she was trying to, I think they were trying to allude to that, and maybe in the second season, if there is a second season, that'll start happening, because then Kingpin didn't have time to translate, so he made these contacts for her that translates anybody's lips, which is dope. I'm like, if that was real, it may be real. I mean, they may be working on something, but that was dope. Like, even for somebody that's got a disability like that, like just thinking, what I do for a living. So just thinking on that lines, I'm like, oh, dang, like if somebody got a disability and they're deaf and they got these contacts where they can read anybody's lips, like that would be a game changer for them. Mm-hmm. So, and that's kind of what they did. And you saw it like scanning people too. So maybe they'll put that in there and explain, because she doesn't have powers really, but it was just from being deaf coming up. Like she had to look, she had to visually watch people. So that's why they did that.
The character or the actress, or the actor, she just seems real. Yeah, I think she reminds me of somebody. She just seems real. But even though she's doing what she's doing, there's still I don't know if she seems like a bad person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, technically she's not really, but
It's like she can do something.
She does anything. You know what I mean? She's like an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I hate that word really because it's just thrown around so much. But she's basically trying to help out people that's doing, or not trying to help out. She's trying to help out the innocent people. She's trying to get people that's doing bad stuff. It's rooted in people that's done bad to her, but eventually I think it'll get to something else. But I'm not super familiar in the comic book. I can't remember. I know she fought Daredevil a couple times, but I can't remember if she was like a straight bad person. I don't think she ever was straight bad. They changed some stuff from that too, like from the comic, but I can't remember a lot of details. So I enjoyed it. I
just remember her like just beating people up or killing them, and it seemed like she don't think twice about it. Like she don't feel guilty, like, you know.
Yeah, because of how she came up. Yeah, I think that's why they showed.
Because Kingpin trained her, right?
Yeah, I mean that was her uncle.
Okay,
so that uncle, he killed her dad. Did you watch Hawkeye?
No.
Oh, okay. Hawkeye is one of my favorite series, and I think because of how grounded it is, like it goes to show that you don't need powers, and sometimes you're a better hero.
And I think like, some of my favorite stuff, like watching other podcasts, especially the JBP, is they can talk about anything and like I'm still in it. Like
entertain.
Yeah. They got good chemistry. They and so I think
I mean that's why I wanted to do a podcast with you, because I think our energy and our chemistry is good.
Yeah.
And we can talk for hours about anything.
Yeah.
Like, we do that whether whatever, like
right.
just when we see each other.
Right.
So, I mean, it wasn't what I'm trying to say. It was no brainer to me. This is new. Like the equipment and the way I got it set up, I kind of is new. It's newer. Like I just bought it just for the podcast. So there's that. But yeah, I've been using it. Yeah,
right.
Like the table,
right.
The equipment and stuff.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, I've been appreciate it. But
my pleasure.
But I've been I have been doing some stuff. Like
I see.
So you
gotta hit it again. There you go. All right. Is that loud? We need it loud.
I want to find something else because everybody uses that.
Oh yeah. Figures, this is our first episode, so we're gonna be figuring it out.
Yes.
No more soda for me. While we potting.
No soda.
Maybe no more soda. Excuse me. Can you hear that? Period. Because I need to lose weight. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I've become a little portly in the age of 42.
Portly?
Yeah.
Portly.
And, I've been moving this whole podcast so you don't see my fat. But hey, it's there.
Yeah.
Like I don't
listen.
Hey,
I'm the last person to talk, so I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, so
I've been getting my walk on. Yeah, let's end.
That's good.
With that.
That's good.
With some positive exercising talk.
Yeah.
You been exercising?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not at all.
I don't know how positive it is. I've been walking every day on the treadmill.
Good.
Every day for about 100 days. I've been walking now.
Okay.
Yeah. It keeps track. That's why I know.
Wait, every day?
Yeah.
For how long?
I've been doing it for about 100 days.
No.
I've skipped.
How long?
Oh, how long on the treadmill?
Yeah.
Just depends. I do these different programs on iFit. So it could be for a half an hour. It could be for 25 minutes. It could be for 45 minutes. Just depends on what I'm doing.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm just used to doing that I used to be in the booth spitting, you know what I'm talking about? I used to be right up on it. Like,
nah, I feel you.
I was in Walmart and I picked up a bat and I just did the basic.
Picked up a bat?
Yeah, like a baseball bat.
Oh, okay.
And I just did the basic movement and got in the stance and went through a swing, and I was like, "Oh, shit!"
You wasn't right. You was hurting.
Yeah, just like
man, you get over 40 and it's a problem.
But you know, I just heard Conor McGregor, something he said. He said that at a certain, like, you know, when we coming up, we learn to walk and we're doing stuff. Like, and basically he was saying we stop at a certain point, we stop doing stuff. We stop exercising we stop practicing, we stop doing stuff with our bodies.
Yeah. It's real. I mean, it you got to be intentional. As you get older, you got to be intentional in working out. You got to be intentional in wanting to stay in shape and lose weight. When you're younger, you don't really have to because you're active.
Yeah.
Like whatever you're doing, like you playing sports, you going to the gym, whatever. Like when you're younger, it's just natural. It's just running. And when you're a kid, you know, you running outside, whatever. I mean, nowadays, I don't know how many people running outside, but usually when you're younger, being active is just a natural thing. I mean, because you're not established.
Right.
You in school, you're shuffling back and forth to different things. When you get older, you're working a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on what type of job you have, if you don't have an active job, you're not going to be active.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have an office job. I've been in an office job for 20 years and it's hard. You just sitting down all day, and they say sitting is the new smoking. So, I mean, that's what it is. You gotta find ways to be active.
I drive tractor trailers.
Yeah,
and so I've been driving since 2013. So for a lot of them years, I've been able to avoid getting fat.
Yeah,
but now it's catching
creeping.
Up. Like,
yeah, you getting over 40. You know? That's what happens.
And I want to do.
I like
better.
eating.
I do.
I like eating.
I do. It's lovely. But
I love eating.
But I
like good food.
I want to continue to have a high quality of life.
That's it.
And so
that's it.
I got to change.
As you get older and you start having stuff happen, you start thinking about that stuff. And when you have stuff happening to family members and other stuff, like you start thinking about that stuff and you realize how important it is. Health is important.
And then
it's the most important.
Yeah. And excuse me, people, but when you get to like having a little trouble wiping your own ass,
you know what?
Like when you trying to reach back it, God damn.
Yeah, that's wild as hell. Like that's
uncomfortable when you're doing that.
Nah. See, you definitely got to get it together after that.
Yeah,
like that's an issue. But
if I had a bidet, I would just keep getting fat. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that don't work because I got one, and you still gotta dry off back there. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I thought they had ones now. I've been hearing that that dry you off.
Oh yeah, they do, and I think in China they been had those.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but working out is important. Yeah. Getting healthy is important. Health is probably the biggest commodity next to time. Mm-hmm. So, and those two things are important. And in order to have more time, you need to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I hate when people be like, well, you can get hit by a car tomorrow. And I'm like, that's true. But what if you don't get hit by a car? Like, you know,
right.
I mean, it makes sense.
Right.
Like people are always saying that, well, you got to die from something. Well, guess what? I don't want to die from a fucking heart attack. Like, I don't want to die from
something you
high blood pressure that I could control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do got to die from something, but I want to die from old age and just my time to go, like in my sleep, something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be going from an ailment that's preventable. That's the main thing. That's why I look at
quality of life.
Quality of life is important.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here 80 years old and just be miserable. 70 years old, 60 years old and be miserable. 50 years old. Like I'm almost 50 and you know, before I started walking, I was miserable. Like my knees hurting. My knees still hurt, but they're better now. You know, I get some more of this weight off, it'll be even better. But life is miserable. Like my fiance had just talked about that, like posted something where she was talking about posting like invisible diseases and having stuff wrong with you. Like, you know, it's hard. It's hard to go through that stuff, especially stuff like that people don't know. People can't see, you know, and you're just dealing with it every day. And you gotta, you know, deal with back issues or knee issues or whatever it is, whatever you're going through.
Yo.
And people don't see that stuff, so they look at you from the outside in like, oh, they're all right, or they just, you know, you just need to do better. You just need to diet more or whatever, and that don't always work.
Yeah.
You gotta, you know, that's the other thing. You gotta visit the doctor. They don't know everything. Get a second opinion. But if you find a doctor that listens to you, go to that doctor and stay with that doctor. You know, we got kind of serious at the end of the pod. But for real, it's serious. It is serious. Health is important. Health and time is important.
I've been thinking about
Health as well.
getting some gloves from Walmart.
Some boxing
And I
gloves?
want to say Walmart because
Boxing gloves?
I like Walmart.
Boxing gloves?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like Walmart.
Trying to
yo.
box? I ain't trying to box no more. But you trying to train?
Like, so I was saying, like, me and my nephew, me and my...
Oh, you trying to box somebody. Yeah, you still young. You still 42. Yeah, you
I'm just thinking, like, just if I find something that I'm interested in, physical activity, and I do it, then maybe I'm more likely to
keep doing it.
Yeah, and
no, I understand that.
Shape.
I understand that. I just not trying to get hit because it take me a week to recover. I boxed not too long ago. Well, I say not too long ago. Maybe like 8 years ago. That's weird because I was almost your age. 8 years ago.
But like
I was a little bit younger. But
what happened?
No, but I boxed and I got jacked up because I was boxing somebody that was a boxer, and I was hurting for weeks.
Good.
Like that's when I was like, oh nah, I ain't trying to box. I'll train all day, but I ain't trying to box nobody.
You can spar and then
I ain't trying to spar.
But what I'm saying is, so we put the gloves on.
More power to you.
We put the gloves on, right? And we're not trying to kill each other. We're just trying to score. Like, yeah, I got you there, but not hard.
I got you there. You heard that shit? I got you there. Yeah, I got you there would be my spleen busted. I got you there. My spleen's going. Oh, Jesus. Like,
but then there's all type of gear too you can get, you know?
Yeah, I need a whole bubble suit. If I'm going to box, I need a whole bubble suit. Listen.
But yeah, I'll shoot boxing, maybe getting a baseball and maybe getting a bat.
Man, I tried swinging a bat at the what you call it? The batting cage. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't. My brain. Yeah, the batting cage. Man, I used to be good at baseball, but you don't understand how far removed you are until you try something again. And
I ain't did this in a long time.
I was like,
you remember?
They were like 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, and 70 miles an hour, I think. It was like 40. What's wrong with y'all? We're going to 70. Man, I ain't hit a single ball. I don't even think I got the bat around by the time the ball was at the backstop. Like craziness. So I put it on 50. Still ain't hit nothing. Then I put it on 40. I started hitting stuff, but it was like bling. And I just knew I was gonna be, you know, because I was good. Shoot, we went to Top Golf not too long ago. I did all right. Like I can swing, but I still was hurting the next day.
You gotta keep doing it.
Yeah, you do gotta keep doing it.
Keep doing it, then that hurting to go away. You keep doing it. That's how you.
That's good advice.
As my dad used to say, that's how you know you did something. When it hurt,
because he hurting.
When you sore, that's how you know you did something.
Listen, sometimes that's how you know you're injured. So you gotta listen to your body sometimes too.
True.
But I think we're gonna wrap it up here. What
We gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap.
That's what's up.
And
pass the buck to you.
in all. No, I'm not freestyling. I know my limits. I can't even write no more. What are you doing? Like
You can do it.
I can't write no more.
To it.
But
just go through it.
But this was the
you influence.
This was the inaugural podcast.
Okay, I meant to ask you what that means because that's every year, right? We only doing.
Am I saying that wrong?
Inaugural.
Inaugural.
That's
shit. I'm using words wrong. I was trying to say the initial one.
Okay.
What's that mean? What word am I looking for, people?
Initial, inaugural.
Man, I gotta look up this word
first.
Y'all ain't gonna have me out here looking crazy.
Beginning.
It's too late.
Launch pad. It start with an IN.
Listen, I know you. Yeah, marking the beginning of an institution activity.
No, you're saying inaugural. How is this pronounced?
Inaugural. That's how you pronounce it.
No,
it's got an L.
Oh wait. Oh goddamn.
See, look.
Oh goddamn.
He's wrong. I like.
Oh goddamn.
Yeah, no.
I all my life, because that's when the president speaks.
Yeah, the first speech.
I thought that it's his yearly speech. That's what I thought.
First speech. That's what,
I'm not stupid. I went to college.
You're far from stupid. I'm just saying you wasn't right on this word.
No. You got it. Inaugural.
So this is the inaugural podcast. We had a sidetrack there.
Inaugural.
Nah, I understand because
inaugural. What rhymes with inaugural?
Nothing. Nah, but I thank everybody for joining. If you watched it this far, I'm hoping you watched or listened. If you're listening, and
inaugural,
what you got?
We had to run the audible.
I don't know if he's gonna say some words. He's gonna say some parting words for the people.
I mean, this is fun, man, and I've enjoyed this with my friend Ben.
Yes,
you know, Ben, the two of us need look no more.
I'll probably cut that out.
Okay, but yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to doing this more, and
yeah, I'm not sure how many episodes a month will come out. I don't know. We haven't discussed that, but we will figure that out, and there will be more episodes. So we'll see.
That's what's up.
All right. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We are out.
Out.
Peace.
But why? Okay.
All right.